Today, we're going to talk about something that can be a real game changer. We're unlocking a powerful method used by top strategists to turn really complex problems into clear, actionable solutions. So let's dive right in.
You've been there, right? A huge, messy problem lands on your desk, and you just kind of stare at it feeling, well, completely overwhelmed. It's a universal feeling, but it definitely doesn't have to be where the story ends.
You know, the funny thing is, problem solving is a skill, but it's one that most of us were never formally taught. We just picked it up as we went, through trial and error. And while that intuitive approach can work sometimes, it can be pretty inefficient and honestly, a little unreliable when the stakes are high.
And this gets to a really core idea. Great problem solvers aren't born, they're made. It's not some magic talent you either have or you don't. It is a structured skill. It's like a muscle that anyone, and I mean anyone, can build with the right framework and a little practice.
So what is this better way? Well, it's called the hypothesis-led approach. This is the framework that helps you turn all that chaos into clarity and puts you back in the driver's seat. Let's take a look at how it actually works. So here's the absolute key. Instead of trying to boil the ocean and look at every single possibility out there, you start with your first best guess. You make an educated assumption, a hypothesis, and then you focus all of your energy on systematically testing if that guess is right or wrong. It's just so much more efficient, it's focused, and it's incredibly powerful. And hey, don't just take my word for it. As Mark Matakis explains, this kind of structured method is what lets you cut through the fog of a really complex problem and find a clear, actionable insight. It's a proven process for getting real results.
Okay, now for the how-to. The hypothesis-led approach is built on a really clear 7-step framework. Think of this as your roadmap, taking you from that feeling of chaos all the way to clarity.
Let's walk through these 7 steps. The first 3 are all about understanding the problem. First, you have to define it with crystal clarity. Then you structure it, break it down into smaller, manageable pieces. And finally, you prioritize which of those pieces are the most critical to tackle first. Then, steps 4 and 5, that's your analysis phase. Here you'll develop a work plan and then actually conduct the analysis to test your hypothesis. And the last 2 steps, that's all about developing the solution. You synthesize your findings to figure out what it all means, and then you use that insight to build a powerful recommendation. Now, to really nail these steps, especially step 2, structuring the problem, there's a core principle you gotta know. It's a concept that makes sure your thinking stays logical and super clear through the entire process. It's called MISI. It stands for mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. I know, it sounds kind of fancy, but it's really just a way of saying no overlaps and no gaps. When you break down a problem, each piece needs to be totally distinct, and all the pieces together have to cover the whole problem. Let's make this real with a simple example. See the list on the left? Breakfast, lunch, meals. That's not MEAS, because breakfast and lunch are both types of meals. They overlap, and it just gets confusing. But look at the right. Breaking down profit into revenue and costs, that's perfectly MEAS. They are 2 totally separate buckets, and together they cover everything. This kind of clean separation is the secret to clear thinking. Okay, let's focus on one of the most critical skills in this entire process. Honestly, this is the one that truly separates the good problem solvers from the great ones. It's the difference between a summary and a synthesis. A summary, well, it just lists the facts. Like in the example on the left, right? My meeting ran late, I forgot my phone, and I missed the train. But a synthesis, that's where the magic is. It connects the dots. It tells you what those facts actually mean. It answers that all-important question, so what? And Ingrid really hits the nail on the head here. Synthesis is the ultimate goal. After all the data, all the analysis, you have to be able to step back and explain why it matters. This is how you create real impact and actually drive decisions. So here's your call to action. I want you to pick one problem you're dealing with right now. Don't even try to solve it yet. Just do one thing. Define it. Write down a SMART problem statement for it. That means making it specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-bound. Getting this first step right is often the hardest part, but it's also the most important. And I'll leave you with this final thought. A lot of the time, the real problem isn't the problem itself. It's how you're looking at it. The solution isn't found by just grinding harder, but by thinking clearer. By giving your thinking some structure, you can unlock entirely new possibilities. So, what problem are you going to look at differently today?